Welcome to me showing you all of the books that I have purchased recently that I need to read. So first I'm going to show you, I have like a big stack of books right here, and then I'm going to go through handheld to just be like, on my bookshelf, I read this book, this book, this book. Is the quality different from the last clip because I filmed that on my phone? This is on my iPad? Maybe, I don't know, whatever. So, these are the most recent books I bought. I just got them from Salvation Army. So I got this first one is Moth and Spark by Anne Leonard. Fantasy, what a surprise. Prince, magic. I'm not going to try to tell you every single book what it's about because simply I am not eloquent enough to be able to read the descriptions and be like, this is what it's about. So I'm just going to go through and show you. These next three are all in the same series. First book is Falling Kingdoms, Rebel Spring, Gathering Darkness. These are all by Morgan Rhodes. I think it's YA. Again, fantasy. I looked it up. They had very like mixed reviews, but when I found that many in a series and they look kind of interesting to me, I think there's like 5 or so total in the whole series, and there's a little spin-off series. So they only had 3 of them, but the fact that I found 3 in a row in a series, will purchase. I got this recently. This is the Captive Prince series by C.S. Pacat. So Captive Prince, Prince's Gambit, and King's Rising. I've read these already. I just happened to pick them up during the Memorial Day sale at Barnes & Noble. I think maybe one of them actually was on sale, but I just got like extra points because I don't have the like paid membership thing. But this is my favorite author. My favorite series is her Dark Rise series. I've read these before. I just finally wanted to own copies of them. So I'm not going to be rereading these anytime soon because I have so many other books to read, but just showing you I got them. Of course though, I saw right after I bought those a TikTok that they were re-releasing this series with new covers in North America. Of course, once I finally decide to buy copies, they make new ones. I did see them in person when I went to Barnes & Noble last week, and I was this close to buying all 3 of them again, like 2 weeks after I bought the rest of them. But I stayed strong. I didn't need them, also because one of them was kind of banged up, and I'm like, I don't want to, if they're not, I'm going to get all of them at the same time if I'm going to get them. That's a later. Maybe that's, no, I don't want to ask for those for my birthday. I don't want to be like, can you guys buy me a gay fantasy romance series, please? No. The rest of these books on this little shelf were purchased at this book sale that happened around me. I think everything was $2. So first, Incarceron. I think that's how you say it. Catherine Fisher. It has a pretty, like, I don't know, yeah, you can see that, holographic. Again, I'm not going to try to tell you what they're about, what their genre is, because I'm stupid and I just don't want to. This is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This one looked cool. I think they said is it a thriller? This one sounded interesting. It was something, I think it's in Spain. Yeah, it's in Barcelona. I've been to Spain, not Barcelona, which I actually read a book recently that was set in Spain, and it was really cool because one of the characters was from like a city that I had been to, and I'm like, oh, I've been there. But this is something like I just said I wasn't going to give you descriptions of what they are, and yet here I am. It was something that there's like this guy finds this author he likes, and he goes to try to find like other things written by him, and someone's destroying all of his works. Why? Whatever. Hunt for Eden's Star. This one just had a really cool looking cover. Is this sci-fi? Young adult thriller. Supernatural page turner. I got it because the cover looked pretty. This one used to be at the library in my city because I can see. I'm not going to show you. I'm not trying to dox where I live, but it's got the stuff on the back from it. But this is River Keep. It's a YA book. Again, fantasy. This I'll get to at some point. This was in the book sale at my library. It's a anxiety self-help book. Oh, this one sounded cute. The Last Heir to Blackwood Library. I don't think cute is the word I was trying to use. It just sounded interesting. Mysterious library magic. Ooh. This one I'm super excited to see. This is Doctor Who, The Wheel of Ice. I have almost bought this multiple times at Half Price Books by Me. They've had hardcover copies, but there's either like the one that they had weird like rot or mold or something on it, and then the other one, like the cover was messed up. This is Gilded Cage by Vic James. It was an ARC, an advanced reader copy for those of you not familiar with book terminology. I'm sorry. Again, fantasy, maybe, probably. So I used to work at a bookstore that ended up closing, rest in peace, but we used to get ARCs all the time, and I was at a period in my life where I wasn't really reading all that much. Funny enough that I worked in a bookstore. Same thing happened when I was working at a library, leave it alone. We used to have ARCs all the time, and we could read them and take them home, and I never did, and I like, now looking back, I'm like, oh, I wonder what stuff we got, because I just never looked. And then lastly, I got a Five Nights at Freddy's book. This is the Twisted Ones. It's book 2 in the Silver Eyes trilogy. Did I buy it just because it was funny that I found a Five Nights at Freddy's book? Yeah. Do I like FNAF? I'm sorry, I do. Yeah, unfortunately, I got into it when Security Breach came out, and now I know. I have watched the hours upon hours of lore videos. I've watched the Iceberg. I've watched the, Beginner's Guide to. I've watched so many of those videos because I love lore and I find it interesting. I watch video essays on stuff that I have no idea what it's about, just because I think that lore in series is cool. So at some point I'll get the other ones. I've wanted to read the FNAF books, but I just don't want to pay full price for what is arguably a children's book. Because I like to read a lot of YA, but I have issues when it's the juvenile. I know there's an actual term for it, but the kind of junior high age reading level. The saddest thing for me is that I am too old for the writing style in Percy Jackson. I tried to go back and read them because I never finished it. I think that by when I had a box set, and I think that when I was in junior high, I think only 3 or 4 of them were out, and I think there's 5 or 6 in the original series, and then there's all of the expanded universe. And I tried to get back into it because I wanted to reread all of them before I read the later ones, and I just can't do it. It is definitely, to me, reads so much like this is written for a junior high or late elementary school reader. I can do teen geared stuff. Like I said, I read a lot of YA, but that was just a little too juvenile for me. So I don't know if this is also that kind of writing style. We'll see once I get into it. Freddy! Yeah. So those are the books that I bought recently. What I'm going to do now is take you through my bookshelf. I'm going to point out all of the books that I have in my bookshelf that I haven't finished reading. I'm going to expose myself that way. First off, I just want to show you for reference, these are all the books I just showed you. Okay, so that's how much space those are taking up. Down here, look, I'm not going to try to be aesthetic and move all my stuff. I have all of the ACOTAR series. I need to read that at some point. These 2 books right here are the library books I'm reading right now. Let's get into my bookshelves. Yeah, okay, yes, is this all a mess? Whatever. Sorry, let me move my Toy Story Land opening team lunchbox. Sorry, I didn't mean to flex on you guys. Oh, I just absolutely destroyed my Rex pop figure. I didn't destroy him, he's fine. Oh, so yeah, I do collect pop figures. I'm so sorry about that. This I haven't finished. This is a collection of a bunch of, it's got Sweeney Todd. What else? We got Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde. I don't even have a bookmark in this thing, but yeah, I got that at Barnes & Noble years ago, and haven't read it. These I've all read. The few books that I kept from school. I have read Red, White, and Royal Blue. It's very cute. Twilight, I am, as you can see, that far through Midnight Sun. I didn't finish Life and Death. I've read the rest of those. Manga, actually behind. I have not, I just dropped something again. But I have not read volumes 27 and 28 of Blue Exorcist. I just really didn't pay any attention to the fact that that was sitting here. Down here, more manga stuff. I have not read these last 2 volumes of Black Butler. This one is what I just got when I was saying that I went to Barnes & Noble and almost bought Captive Prince again. I bought that one. But yeah, I haven't read either of those yet. Look, I just got shit everywhere in my bookshelves. Let me move Barrett real quick. Fangirl, I have not read yet. I actually almost bought another copy. They had a copy with a different cover at Salvation Army, but I stayed strong and did not buy it. I've read all of those. From Blood and Ash, I haven't read. This is The Drowned Woods. I read a different book by that author I really liked. This is The Blood That Binds Us, and this is How You Lose the Time War. I have not read any of those. What else do I have? I have manga up there I've read. Oh, this shelf. Fuck, dude, there's so much in here I haven't finished. Doctor Who, The Coming of the Terror Files. I have not read that. I've tried reading it multiple times. I've had it since I was in junior high. At some point, I'll get to it. This is Dragon Age Asunder. As you see, I've read half of the book, but I'm just going to restart it at some point. This is The Masked Empire, also Dragon Age. I have read that one. I haven't read any of these Mass Effect books. Actually, I think I've read most of this. That's the only Witcher book I've read. Have not read the Dragon Age Stolen Throne, and I do have the stupid, novelization of Final Fantasy, that, shitty movie they made. I haven't read any of these. The rest of these are all Doctor Who books. So this is Remembrance of the Daleks, and then these 2, Beautiful Chaos, and The Silent Stars Go By. Those are, not episodes that made novelizations of, but whatever, I bought those years ago. Honestly, the rest of those I do not care about. They're just these really old, cheap Doctor Who books that they used to have at Borders. Oh, lastly, over here we have 2 more Dragon Age books. I have Last Flight and The Calling. I have not read either of those. And I have read Dark Rise and Dark Air. Remember when I said I like FNAF? Uh-oh. With those Dragon Age books, though, the Stolen Throne is the only one I have that's the mass market size. The other ones are just like a regular paperback size. So at some point, I do want to buy that in the regular size so I can have just the full set in the same size. I see it at half price books all the time. I just didn't realize that I didn't have that one in the same size. So those are the books that I have not read on my bookshelf. And I don't have any space on my bookshelf anymore for the amount of books that I have. I do if I like got rid of some of the stuff, because I have like this shelf is full of some like pencils, pens, and things like that, and papers, and I have this one that doesn't have books, but then I don't know where to put those things. Also, I feel like I was talking really, 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 really fucking fast in that clip, and I'm sorry about it. I talk really fast anyway.